Hello and welcome back to the randomness of Heather. Hello and welcome back to the randomness of Heather. What you see here is one of my footed teapots. I believe that's what it's called. It's footed because it does have the little elevation part, as you see. And this is one of my teapots. It was given to me as a gift, and I really do appreciate it. Green is my favorite color, and gold, the gold trimming on it, I just think goes very nicely with it. This particular teapot is a Homer Laughlin, I believe I pronounced that right. And I believe the pattern on it, as it were, is called Lady Greenbrier. Now, this particular teapot, one thing that has slightly bothered me about it, I don't know if from what I've seen, the other teapots of this particular type have a gold little stamp over this part, indicating a Homer Laughlin. So I don't know if it just never got a gold stamp or the little gold stamp on it rubbed off, because, you know, after time and being used and being washed, stuff's gonna wear and tear kind of thing. And one thing I have noticed about teapots, people, careful on your little lids. Most of your little teapot lids, and most of what you'll see of mine, do have little stoppers that protrude that are kind of like little hooks, so you kind of have to hook it in and put it down instead of just taking it off. This particular one does not, but it does have a little chip right here, as you can see, which does happen, especially for the age of this teapot. I am surprised that's all it has, but if it's been very taken care of, you know, expect minimal cracking, if that. This particular teapot, if my looking on the interwebs is correct, it was made in 1952, possibly 1953 from what I can see, which gives it the potential to be 71 years old. Not my oldest teapot yet, people, but getting close. This particular teapot is, depending on what you want to pay, you're going to be, from what I see, unless you find it at like an antique store on a deal or at a thrift store, if you want to buy it offline, from what I can see and understand, you're going to be paying anywhere from $30 to $119, and here's why. I don't know exactly why, because my looking on the interwebs is very minimal at the moment, but from what I can tell, it is vintage, antique-ish, decent brand, but also, you know, it's got the gold trim. From what I can tell, it's possibly real gold trim, 22 karat gold, and that would have been stated on the stamp on the bottom. So, again, I don't know if it just never got a stamp or the stamp rubbed off. So that is what's leading me to some suspicions about this teapot. But beautiful teapot either way. Beautiful look, beautiful pattern. My favorite color, green, of course. Also, let me go into some of the prices and where I found them. Now, on eBay, I saw a person listing it for $69.96. Decently used, but also it didn't have the crack in the top that mine had. It did look like it had some wear and tear use, kind of like on the inside, some staining, but a little bit of washing up in the right places, and I think it'll be good to go. Now, on Etsy, I saw somebody was selling a 3-piece set. The teapot, like the little sugar keeper and the creamer, and the whole set, it looked well for its age. It looked in great condition, look minimal use maybe. They were selling the 3-piece set for $189, of course, plus shipping depending on where you're at. And I don't know if they have restrictions on their Etsy to where they deliver to, so that's one thing to look into as well, because, you know, you're going to be paying shipping if you're going to get shipped to you. Now, on the Replacements Ltd website, and from what I can tell about that website, they inspect all of their kind of items they get in, and they post pictures, and from what it looks like, they take the picture off when they no longer have that item in stock, but they had a teapot of this same thing in stock, and it looked to be in great condition, no cracks or anything from what I could see from the pictures. And this particular one on the Replacements Ltd website was selling for $119.95. So if you want to pay it, you can pay it. But as I've said before, you know, a teapot from a thrift store, it's not that bad if you want a teapot. However, I have a plethora collection. Probably not as many as some people out there, but I've got a good little bit going. Also, I did see on eBay, of course, now not having the lid does degrade the value a bit if you want the lid. Now on eBay, that listing without the lid, it was selling for $29.99, so roughly $30+ with shipping. Now, here's the thing, you don't always have to have the lid, people. If you like teapots, you can use it as a little display. Hold some short flowers or something if that's what you want to do. One of my favorite teapots that my cat knocked over, it was this little teapot from Hobby Lobby I got before my wedding. A little, what was it? I think it was ceramic. Did I say that right? No, I think it was just, yeah, I think it was a ceramic. I'll have to look it up. It was this little teapot from Hobby Lobby. It was kind of like an off-white and a very deep, beautiful blue, and it was my favorite. It had great weight, it wasn't too heavy, and my cat knocked it off the stove. Lucky for me, it was in big enough chunks to where I could put it together. But when I put it back together, however, it was no longer of use for tea. There was some cracks and stuff in it. But what I use it for now is it just holds my tea bags before use. So it's still of use to me, and it's kind of sentimental value as well. So I try not to degrade stuff just because it might be a little broken, or it might be a little cracked, or it might not even have a lid. I prefer them to have a lid, but, you know, that's me. Also, if it's pretty enough and it doesn't have a lid, or say it might not have a handle, I'll find some use for it, let me tell ya. But I think that's all I have over this teapot at the moment. It's very beautiful. It's very great. If you're one of the people that changes out table settings seasonally, you could probably use this for something. Maybe. I see this as more being like a summer teapot, in my opinion, or a Christmassy kind of thing. It doesn't have red, but it's got that deep green, and it's got that gold. And sometimes I imagine gold on a Christmas tree, but that's your opinion. Now, I always say the teapot is the main attraction, but look at this gorgeous little teacup and saucer. It is as well a footed teacup, and I don't know what you call that. I call it a fitted saucer because it fits perfectly around the foot. Your teacup does minimal to no jiggling, as long as you don't wobble it too much, and it's just beautiful. It's got a very light pattern, and it's very simple, and it's got the silver oh no, I'm sorry. It's got that little silver trim around it and around the handle. And that I love because it's a little touch, but it's a little deeper touch because the whole pattern is very, very, very light and very, very, very pastel. But I am a sucker for pastel and a sucker for simple. And I just love it. Now this particular cup and saucer I'm not going to be able to pronounce that right, but here you go. It is a Noritake from Ireland is the brand, I believe. It's very beautiful, very charming looking. I only had the pleasure of coming across a few saucers and the teacup in a box at a yard sale for $1. I picked it up right away because I just fell in love with the little kind of like flowery rose pattern, which I just think is a doll and adorable. And also it was slightly pastel. So how could you not? It is, from what I can tell, porcelain, or I think it's called bone china, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but please don't berate me on it. I'm still learning. But it's either porcelain or bone china. It's very beautiful. it was made anywhere between 1978 and 1994. They came out with a bit of these. So it has the potential to be anywhere from 27 years old to 47 years old, I believe. Now, some of these can be a bit pricey for a teacup and saucer, but most of my stuff does come from yard sales or thrift stores, and you can find some pretty sweet stuff there. So don't downgrade your local thrift store or yard sale just because it's a yard sale or a thrift store. You can find some steals. The name of this pattern is called, it's called Anticipation. I don't know why it's called that, but it's pretty. Sorry for saying Now, on Etsy, I found a set of 2 of these for $14.99. So, plus shipping, you know, give or take, each saucer and cup is going to be $7. They had a set of 2 saucers and 2 cups all together for $14.99. So, roughly $7 and some change. Don't forget the shipping. You're probably looking at closer to $20 at the end of the day. Now, the difference I saw on Etsy and theirs was their patterning on the flowers were darker. It was still pastel, but it was more pigmented or more vibrant. So I don't know what's up with mine. I really don't. I don't know if that's a sign of it was one of the newer ones, so the pigment hasn't worn in and mine's older. I really don't know. Now, on Replacements Ltd. was the only other place I could find decently of these. The footed cup and the fitted saucer set. They were selling one that looked almost exactly like mine. But of course, mine is here, so. It had the same sort of pigment in the pastel, so that was not different. Now, on Replacements Ltd., it was being sold as a set of saucer and cup, was called a set, for $19.99. Now, of course, you've got your plus shipping, so, and all that good jazz. So you might be looking closer to $25 to $30 at the end of the day. But that's if you want to pay that much. I think it is a beautiful cup and a beautiful saucer. How could you not? It's got a beautiful glaze on it. The beautiful little silver trim, I think, is what does it for me. Because if it didn't have the silver trim, to my opinion, it wouldn't pull it all together. And that's just that. It looks beautiful. Now, I did find some oddball just footed cups for a few bucks here or there. Or some saucers for a few bucks here or there. Some saucers I did see, like, on eBay being sold for $1 a piece. Which I think you could work with. In my opinion, you might be able to get it cheaper if it were sold separately than together. Because, of course, together they're going to up the price more. But if you can find some little listings on eBay of, say, just the cup for $2 or just the plate for $2, you might be able to get it cheaper. The one thing you're going to be looking at that might make it the same price is the shipping. They're going to plus shipping on you. But if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to make some tea. And this little beautiful dish, my tea is steeping at the moment, but this little beautiful dish is what I'm going to have to hold my little crackers in while I eat my tea. I don't know what this is, to be honest. It was given to me by my husband's mother, so my mother-in-law. Very sweet little gift. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a candy dish or an ashtray or what, but it's a beautiful little pastel kind of flowers. My phone does not do it justice, but that is what I have. I don't know what this is. I don't. If you do, have at it. But this little thing is going to be holding my little crackers while I drink my tea, and I will be back. And there you have it, a nice, beautiful cup of pomegranate pizzazz tea from Walmart. I like how it's just pink. I hope it shows up in my video, but it's got a very pretty pink color to it, and it just looks sweet. And my little cup, and my little sugar wafer crackers. Probably a bit too much sugar for me today, but that's all I know at the current moment about this particular stuff, little collection. If you know any more about it that I left out, please leave a comment and like below, and I hope you enjoyed my little tea time talk. Bye.